Hi, my name is GoncaloPereira and I'm here to introduce you to Rainy Journey. So Rainy Journey is a platform game played in 2D, side-scrolling, where you take control of a raindrop that has to reach the heathen of rain where his fellow raindrops are waiting for him. So the perspective is a basic 2D scrolling game with two layers, background and foreground, a bit like Donkey Kong Country, where the player can either play in the front of the game or the back of the game. So why Rainy Journey? The main concept of this game is to take control of the states of matter. So I've had it once. The states of matter are three, so gas, liquid, and solid, and I've had it evaporation, so intermediate states. So what does the player do? There's the classic mechanics such as jumping, walking, running. We've included a customization because we want the player to have his own unique raindrop. So where does this make a difference? Rain Journey is about having different strategies to overcome obstacles and puzzles. So you have several options, trade-offs such as going through the difficult path to reach the power-up or a customization piece, or just make it the easy way out. How does this work? So the player changes into a puddle, for example, which is the liquid state. You can change into the evaporation state to float in the air to reach higher ground. You can inflate or expand under rain, and you can freeze rock solid to break platforms and kill enemies. These states, however, comes with a bit of a trick, which is you have a meter and you can only use those different states, if the meter is filled. So if the meter is at 0, you won't be able to change states. However, there's a bit of caution because the raindrop will be, and this is an interesting mechanic, will be affected by the weather. So there will be different weather conditions where the raindrop will either evaporate if he's under heat, it will become rock solid if he's under ice cold. And what happens is if you use that state so you can use it, you will, for example, evaporate much faster, so you can reach really high ground. However, you have to time your state change really carefully, or if you become too thin, you will die. So this happens with every state. If you're under intense rain, you will inflate, and if you will inflate too much, you will explode. Of course, you can combine these powers. For example, here in this example, you can break this platform to reach that secret passage in the left. However, if you don't time the change perfectly between the rock solid and the evaporation, you will fall into a pit. And which is interesting also is that you can apply all these strategies to fight your enemies. So if you're more comfortable with heavyweight nimbo with a high amount of inflation under heavy rain, you have the risk of exploding because you will inflate much faster. However, you will be the size of the enemy, or almost the size of the enemy. In this example, however, you won't have the weather condition affecting your state because you evaporate, but you have another strategy element, which is you can hit your enemy by changing into vapor and then turning into ice and stomping in the head. So here are a bit of a resume of the core mechanics and how does the player control the game. So he controls Nimbo with the arrow keys. The digit keys are to change states, the control to shoot, and the jump, the spacebar to jump. There will be theme levels, which will have special weather conditions, and these, of course, like I said before, will have an effect on Nimbo and on how the game is played. The main goal, like I said before, is to reach the end of the world, so the Eden of Rain, and the obstacles will vary from normal to normal obstacles such as platforms, to enemies, ants, bees, and the main enemy of all we want to make is the human, since we all know that the human has a large impact on environmental changes. The main enemy will be the human in this game. So here a bit of a resume about the obstacles and enemies, like said before. And here's a practical example where the player can choose if he reaches the higher ground or goes safely through the passageway or fights his enemies along the way. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation and I hope you liked the game. Thank you.